Hi, welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, because we've been waiting in for the mechanic today, this has been a real late start. He got here about 10 o'clock. We're still waiting for many things, waiting for a delivery down down where we usually have our deliveries by the bridge now, next to Julio's house, and that will allow us to keep on concreting that particularly bad part, which is after the bridge. Excuse me. So today I'm using the directional mic that our friend Kerry brought for us, and we've got the dead cat on it too. And what I've done is I've just strapped it. Just making sure I had it plugged in. We've just got it strapped up with some tape. I got it taped up to the camera, which makes it easy for me to hold both. And I'm going down. As I say, we've got the mechanic. He's working here today, and he's brought a new fuel pump. And here he is. I hope that he hasn't collapsed or sitting down on the job. No, he's not. Of course, I'm only joking. So this is great. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, welcome.
I was glad to see you.
Yeah.
Okay, what we're going to try to do is talk him into taking off that axle, that drive shaft on the Big Blue. And then, boy, we'll be in the process of getting a lot of things done at the same time. We've got the new concrete work there, which has been to dig out a pile of earth, all by hand, of course. And we are happy to get the bus so that it's off and it's out of the way. It makes turning much easier. All of this here, once we get retaining walls built, have quite a few retaining walls coming from the side and around, get the steps built up, and then a lot of this can be shipped back again to where it belongs. So I'm going to take a quick walk, and we'll go down to the bridge. Our bridge, finally, after a long time of being messed up, we're hoping will be kept clean. Now originally, in my thoughts, I wanted to have a deep runoff that was right by where you come down from Julio's house, and you come down to where the bridge starts. I wanted, in my mind, if finances had allowed, which it doesn't, I would have preferred to have a deep gully built there so that we could have a drain built that would take it off to the side, and then any water that was trying to mess up our nice bridge, it would have gone into that gully, which could have been cleaned out periodically, and it would have made for a nice clean concrete looking bridge instead of what looks like a load of mud. But we're hoping that will be handled. Here are the terrible twins, Ko and Balalut. Good morning. A boy with a machete. Not a good thing. So here we are. We're not having any work done today because Timio and Perry, who are the masters really, and they're not here at work today because they have to go up to Tagbilaran. I think probably they've gone up there because probably for some church thing. So this is where we are right now. We put some rebar in, and it's looking a heck of a lot better. Now for those constructionites who like to be in on how the design of everything is going, we're going to put this, will be a deep gully to the side, and we may decide to put some gravel in there, and maybe even sprinkle it with some cement. We'll have to decide on that. That hole that's there, that hole will be made a little bit bigger than that, dug out a little, but the main drain will come off and it will go by here. That stone, that little stone entry to the bridge, that ends or begins here, whichever way you want to see it. And we'll dig that out and take the water round and into the creek, which is there. Now there's a ton of water comes down here, so all of this undergrowth is stuff that's been swept down. It doesn't look like anything could get through at the moment, but it does. And I did a little videoing of the bridge, but I didn't show this side, which I will show now. There we go. Those are the tail end of what I've been calling the caissons. I seem to remember that that's what they're called. I remember the building of the Brooklyn Bridge. They had very deep caissons that went down, and that's what we've duplicated here. So we start up at the first post there, which goes right down into with rebar buried right down into concrete. Then you've got that will be regarded as the first, and it's all blocked up. Then the second one, then 2, then 3, and then because we're then up to here, the bridge actually walks diagonally over there. So we're anchored in on this part where my feet are now. The bridge ends, and it comes over and it goes to here. So that's the beginning of the bridge, if you like. And then we've got this, what I would call a half caisson, which is here. And that's just a short one. It comes out and it goes out to about here. Now up along all of this bridge is what you normally in the Philippines see as boxed up columns of rebar. And you see them, and they're boxed up. Think of the 4 corners of a square. That is the basic. And then they wrap around every so often, every sort of 6 or 8 inches, they wrap around more rebar, or form bar as they put it here. Now all of this will be made so that this runoff will come down and the water will be encouraged to go in there. That's now obviously when you get really severe weather, there's going to be some runoff, right? Mother Nature has it covered. We just think we can change. So we haven't been able to come up with the red, so we left the red there. I had hoped that they might get a little bit further than that. They did get further than they were when I came in last night, but I think it was about 5 that we came in last night. So we left the red there just to be certain. And there's Julio up there, and he's doing the real work of being part of a hilltop community. And of course he's accompanied by his dog. And he's using the tool that we used originally to forge this road. And if I just take you up this road, and we dug off down here for Julio's house. A lot of the soil we reclaimed there was put over here. Now here's an interesting fact. I'd been saying that once we get our non-profit status, and once that is all tidied away and we're able to start funding seriously, once we're able to actually do the job properly, get proper funds, probably from the US. We've had inquiries, no bullshit, we've had inquiries from people who want to not only to send us funds, but to help raise funds on our behalf in California. I had some contacts in the movie related industry, not in the movies, but I worked for a company that made movie props. They made, well, not just movie props, they made replicas, and at one time they were the premier makers of movie replicas, very, very high quality stuff. And I worked for them and got to know a few people there, and now one of those guys has been in touch with me and said that he'd like to help. He's been seeing the way that we work, and if you're a newcomer to our channel now, the way that we work is we show people the project that they have contributed to. So when a person contributes, say, to a house, then he sees that house built, and usually within a week or 2 weeks. So now we're running a program very soon, as I say, when our status is confirmed. We're running a program so that someone may contribute to the building of a house like this one in the background here. This is Julio's house. These are very modest houses. They're not meant to make rich people out of poor. They're meant to handle on a first responders basis, get people out of the wet, out of the rain. Believe me, out of the rain, because most of the roofs on the houses that we replace don't even keep the rain out. So that's what we would be building, and we now have one subscriber who has operating on behalf of her father, who has been watching the videos that we make and has now said, I would like to contribute to one particular house, and that's what we're helping him to do very soon. Now, a lot of people said, why do you make this with the Mac on? Why don't you just make the full concrete block? And Beth and I discussed this, and Beth did some research, which is her department, and she found that on poles, making a small house totally out of concrete block is almost like a prison. There's no light. Whereas with this, even though it is actually weatherproof, there's light in there. These houses are light inside because we only use about three or four rows of block and a concrete floor, but then we do the rest in wood framing and a Macon, and inside you get a nice house. It's pleasant to be inside, it's much cooler than the block, and that's what we head for. So we do all our houses like that one, and they're very well received. They're not hugely expensive to make. So as you can see, work is not in progress here. So we're going down. This is what we'll be looking at in the future. I have no doubt that in the far distant future we will have retaining walls up here, a turning area there, not taking too much of that land, which is obviously being tilled now. And we'll be going up. That's the road that I just walked and showed you, and that's what was originally, that was forged. It was taken out by that plow up there that you can see Julio. You can see Julio with a hand plow, and it's being pulled by the carabao. The carabao, God bless the carabao. When we first came here, this was only a narrow path big enough just for a carabao, and all of our materials for the house that I built single-handed because it was in metal stud, and all of the material in metal stud is easy to handle for one person. So that was the whole idea. I didn't do any block work, I didn't do any concrete work at all. I dug a few holes for the support posts, but everything else I could lift myself at my age. Okay, so that's it on our little update of how the work is going on the bridge. and the road out of the bridge. Let's hope that it works very well. I think that it is. It's sloping off to one side, which is what we wanted. There are two ways to do it. You can make it so that it peaks in the center, drains off to either side, or as you can see there's a distinct runoff to one side. Everything else will come from there. And just to the back, where you can see the rebar there, we'll probably take the road up to that. And everything else we can guide the runoff of water, and we can make it go. And hopefully we can make it go with the agreement of Mother Nature. We can make it go where it's supposed to go. And there's a man working hard. Welcome to the Philippines, welcome to our hilltop community. That's life as we knew it when we came. That's how my brother-in-law Rado earned his living, exactly like that. And if I took a still picture of that and took out, if I photoshopped a very grand, if I took off one of the filters and had it look in black and white, you'd think that that photograph easily could have been 100 years old. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thanks for being with me. Bye for now.